G'day. Hey, coming back to you this week with an update on what's happened to me during the course of this week, what I've been doing, what I've been working on. Um, Comes about from the basis of the fact that people ask me what I get up to, friends, family, business clients and prospects. So it's an opportunity to share what I'm up to each week and then give you a bit of a summary. So what I'd say this week, the theme would be about metrics. Metrics has been a common theme throughout the week. As we know, metrics, they matter. The old adage, what gets measured gets done. Having SMART goals, that helps. So yeah, you know what I mean. So let me take you through the week and explain to you what I've been up to and where I've been. So Monday, 5 days ago, saw me re-engaging with an existing client who I've worked with before during 2025, a little bit of work there. And what I've been doing is a number of priorities that they've asked me to work through and to focus and deliver on during this year. And they're partway through their HubSpot CRM implementation. So for them, that's going to be life-changing. They haven't used a CRM system before, and HubSpot is very intuitive and it's easy to adopt and adapt to. So my areas of focus with this client and during the course of this week have been ensuring the sales team has adoption with the use of CRM. And then, of course, we're starting to talk about CRM hygiene and keeping things up to date. We're going to be talking about forecasting soon too. So there's a bit to come, but we need to do the old adage of crawl, walk, run. I'm also involved in some recruitment with this client. So they need a new salesperson in Invercargill, and I continue to shape that sales team and culture in that area. So I mentioned the metrics piece. We're establishing metrics and KPIs to work for revenue growth, including monthly recurring revenue, focus on specific solutions to be sold and not to be sold. You often get caught and go down rabbit holes with new clients, especially when you're trying to impress and want to stay on track with what we do and what we say and what we can support. Also measure new business acquisition. It's very important to always be acquiring new clients. Your existing ones can slowly die, shut down, or switch to a competitor. So always have to be adding new clients into the mix. And also ensuring that the existing clients, that there's growth in them and, that they aren't sort of drifting away. And then the other piece that I was working on Monday with that client was review their existing client fit and the focus for their business inside their business. Defining that client's importance to the overall business, categorizing clients as an A client to a B client to a C client. Someone else I've worked with before describes their C clients as backpackers, ones that are just hanging on, but don't have a lot of money to spend. So you don't want to get sucked up with those. So as always, I do mix work with exercise and to continue to provide you with updates. I did a bike ride on Monday morning before I started the week, 20Ks or 22Ks in fact. Did my sit-ups, my 25 sit-ups and my 10 push-ups. Jumping into Tuesday, that was spent with meeting with a client that I'm developing their sales team. They have a sales team. They provide payroll and HR solutions to more than 20,000 New Zealand businesses. And they're running well. And what they're looking for is, to go to the next level, develop their business, accelerate their growth. So they have me in there helping them with that growth acceleration. They've got so much data, so much information. Oh, they use HubSpot, and they've been using that for almost a year. And that's very good. It's got a lot of dashboards. They've got an AI business analytics team that have been very much engaged in helping that in terms of reporting and metrics and the likes there. So Tuesday is actually spent with the sales team. I ran through some pre-prepared questions. There was seven salespeople to talk through one-on-one. Sent them the questions last week and went through them. So it was understanding their ways of working, what's working well, what's not working, where they need some help, themselves or where they think the business could need some help, and where the business the strengths are, as well as if there's a weakness here or there. So that was a really busy day with the sales team, going around and talking to each of them. I was doing the calls on Teams, and that allowed me to transcribe the call, not record as in with video, that piece, but just with the transcription piece. Take that, put that into AI, get a summary of that call, the actions, priorities, gets a good feel. I've written a few things down, but it's actually quite concise. Then by the end of the day, I've got 7 of these summaries and things, pull them together, and then you actually get the team's priorities and their focus and what needs to be addressed. So it's a very good collaborative way to work. Exercise done that morning, 6K walk, the push-ups and the sit-ups, all done on Tuesday morning. On Wednesday, jumped back to my client from Monday and preparing for the first sales meeting for the year. So want to get through, what we can shape and set up for the sales meetings, carrying on from some work from last year, to ensure that they're valuable. It's 1 hour. It's a fortnightly sales meeting. There are one-on-ones that take place separately, but the purpose is it's one important hour that we have together. And I make it a collaborative session. The idea is there's 8 people. We've got the hour. We start with going around the room with each of them sharing a sales success, a challenge, and a sales opportunity. And they're presenting that out of HubSpot directly. So they're talking about some successes. They're showing what's closed in the past fortnight effectively. And then they might talk about a challenge. There's an opportunity there that they're just not getting progress on. Maybe they need to apply a bit more of the MEDPIC methodology to that. Maybe there's other reasons. And also, they've got those challenges, but they've also got an opportunity that might have just hit their inbox this morning that they want to share with us as well, which is quite good. It helps with engagement and contributions from the team around the room. People chip in and say, oh, yeah, what about this? Or have you thought about this? What we then do is we jump into reviewing the tracking of the sales team's KPIs and the metrics using dashboards from HubSpot, running a leaderboard as well. So creates that competitiveness, which is what most salespeople like. Some don't, but it depends where you are on the leaderboard as to whether you like that competitiveness or not. Then we jump into a third section of the sales meeting, which is a spotlight. It varies. It can be marketing, the marketing team, marketing manager talking about something, campaign that's happening, an event, could be a product, could be about a process. It's something, relevant to the team, which is always important. Then finally, we wrap up with any other business. So there might be something else that's a burning issue or just something that we want to cover off. So it's pretty rapid in that hour, but it's quality, and we get through things pretty well. So it was a very wet day on Wednesday. So my exercise, I managed to get out the door in the morning, 5Ks in the run, walking, and then rather than doing a bike ride, because Wednesday is normally a bike ride day. Then we jump into Thursday. So yesterday, it was fine weather. The roads had been wet overnight, but they were drying out. So I jumped on my bike, knocked out 21 Ks around town, and then came back and did my sit-ups and push-ups. So that was good. Then I jumped on the bus again. You might recall I mentioned that last week. Jumped on the bus at the end of the street and headed down into Wynyard Quarter in Auckland's CBD, and back to my client, my SaaS payroll HR client. We met with the SLT. We discussed the high priorities that came out of the sales team interviews and where we need to focus to continue client and revenue growth for FY27. That starts on the 1st of April for the 27 financial year. Then spent some time inside their CRM. As I mentioned, they use HubSpot too. Looked at working through a large number of dashboards that they have. Their KPIs and metrics, there's a lot of information there. But it's like, what do the salespeople actually use? What are they looking at when they wake up in the morning and come into work? Do they look at a dashboard or anything, or do they just carry on with their pen and paper? So they do use HubSpot well, but maybe there's could be too much information. But as a SaaS business, as we know, software as a service business or SaaS business, it's important to easily view the acquisitions that are happening, the improvement on MRR or the averaging out of the MRR, looking also at retention and churn, the cross-sell, upsell mix. Are we missing the opportunity? Always come back to, when you go through the drive-through at McDonald's, for those that might buy a Big Mac or two, you're always offered the fries and the drink, the combo, as they call it. It's ingrained in them. And are we missing opportunities? Are we leaving money on the table with our clients? So that's also equally important. So then also saw a very clever pitch deck, which the marketing team have put together in conjunction with the sales team. And there's a PowerPoint slide at 16, I think it was 16 slides. And this is literally to pitch to a client about why they should buy this client's SaaS, payroll, and HR. They had it co-developed with a lady called, I'd never actually heard of, called April Dunford. She's out of the USA. So April came down to New Zealand last year, spent several days in workshops helping them develop the sales pitch. I watched a bit of her work on YouTube last night, and April's quite a remarkable lady. So, have a look at her, April Dunford. She's worth looking at for pitch decks and all that sort of selling stuff and how to engage with clients. So anyway, the pitch deck is sound and solid, and I viewed some of the real successes with the sales team, that they'd been recording some deals, from cold literally to presenting to selling to closing. And even during those calls, some of the clients are saying, or customers are saying, oh, look, no, that's not for me. But then by the end, they're actually, let's buy that too. So some great cross-sell, upsell opportunities. Yeah. And then just like that, it's the end of the week. So, it's been fast again. Today's my Friday. I've got a couple of follow-up pieces of work to do from during the week. I've got to talk to a couple of new clients that have made some inquiries, and go back and talk to some prospects who I haven't heard back from, that have been talking to me before Christmas, and they're still on holiday. So connecting back with those people as well. So a bit still to do on Friday. It's not up yet, but I just thought I'd get my video out and share with you how this week's gone. And if you want to know my stats for the week in terms of exercise, bike 43 Ks, walk 13 Ks, but down on the walking, but down on the biking. Blame it on the weather this week. It's been pretty tough. But, you can do your sit-ups anywhere, anytime. And sometimes I forget to do them in the morning at home, and I'll come in to my shared office space and do them in there. So 753 days in a row for sit-ups. Completed my push-ups as well. That's 52 days in a row on the push-ups. And I'd like to think that my client satisfaction, I call it excellent, and I'll find out more as I progress with these clients. So thanks very much, and have a great weekend.